So today I am going to make the basic butter gravy. So the gravy which I am going to make, it can be used in multiple dishes. For example, it can be used for the butter chicken. It can be used for chicken tikka masala. But since I am nowadays vegetarian, so I'll be making paneer butter masala with this gravy. This is the simplest of the gravies, and while we cook, we'll also try to bust certain myths. Okay, so let me introduce the ingredients which we have. So we have got about 200 grams of cottage cheese. So to make this 200 grams of cottage cheese, we'll be requiring about 4 to 6 pureed tomato. So it's like mid-sized tomato which I have pureed. About 7-8 cloves of garlic. I use good amount of garlic in my food. So that's about half of the bulb of garlic I have taken. About 3-4 bay leaves we'll take. The real taste, the real fragrance of butter chicken comes, or chicken tikka masala, or for that purpose, the the paneer butter masala comes from the cardamoms. So we take good amount of cardamoms. So I have taken about 8 odd cardamoms. Then another spice we're going to use largely from the fragrance and flavor perspective is the mace and the cinnamon. Okay, so first of all, one myth which I'm gonna break is that you'll be hearing a lot of things that XYZ claims to have invented butter chicken or this butter gravy. I mean, maybe true, maybe false, but what I think this butter gravy is an evolved food. Okay, evolved food during the British era when the British officers were trying to accustom themselves to the Indian tastes and the Indian style of cooking. The most important ingredient in any butter gravy is not the butter. Trust me, it's not the butter. It's the cashew nut paste. So what I've done is that I soaked cashew nuts. This is about 50 grams of cashew nuts are soaked. We are not going to use all of them. You can say for 200 grams of cottage cheese or equivalent amount of chicken, probably you can take about 10 or 15 cashew nuts. Soak them for a while in a water. When I say for a while, it means that soak them for about a couple of hours in water. And once they become tender, then just puree them and add a couple of spoons of milk in it. So this is what you get, the cashew nut paste. And another thing is which you're going to use is this dairy cream. So I'll be using about 50 grams, little more, depending on how sour the tomatoes are and what color I want. And of course, then there'll be a touch of garam masala, the traditional Indian spice. Now, this entire video is going to be English. It is specifically being made for one of my friends who is based in United States. I'll not take his name, but I'll just say hi to him. Okay. Let's. So another myth which I'm going to break is that butter chicken doesn't mean that it has to be cooked in butter. So I also make this butter gravy in pumpkins, which I used to call as no butter chicken. And for this today, what we'll be doing is that we'll be using half and half. We'll be using a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter, but not that entire gravy will be cooked in butter. So over to my stove. So I'll be using canola oil. It's about a spoonful of canola oil. Say about 20-25 grams of butter. Not much. The people who know me, who have seen me cooking, they'll say that yes, I have hardly used any oil or hardly used any butter. While this oil heats up, we are going to crush our garlic. Look guys, I am no chef, no professional chef, nor is it's a professional studio which I have at home. It's my home kitchen. So I've got limited resources to shoot a video. I'm just trying to make best use of whatever available resources I have. Trust me, my recipes are really very good, and I know I'm a very good at cooking. So it will take about, once the oil, look, the benefit of adding oil and butter, mixing oil and butter is that, because if in case I'll put butter straight away, then the butter will burn. So oil will control the temperature. So that is the another reason, benefit which we get by adding oil. So now this oil is hot, the garlic is nearly cooked. It takes about less than a minute. Huh? So what we are going to do is that we are going to add the spices. The mace goes in, so does the cinnamon, so does the bay leaves. And what we'll do is that we'll do a little trick with this cardamoms. We'll just break them a bit. So it's done. Now the most important ingredient goes into it, which is this cashew nut paste. So I'll be taking a good spoonful of this cashew nut paste, and as I said, that will be equivalent to about, say, 10 to 15 mid-sized cashew nuts, whole cashew nuts, soaked in water for about an hour or so, and then pureed it with water. I guess I really love this cashew nut paste. And when you make it paste, what I do is that I don't puree it completely. I ensure that a little bit of pieces of cashew nuts are there in it. So that again gives you a little crunch when you take a bite. And don't get bogged down with these spices. They will all come out. We'll take them out when it's cooked. And I'm doing it in real time. I'm not going to edit it much. So this cashew nut is fairly cooked now. How much time did it take? About a minute. Now goes the tomato. Okay, so one thing, whenever you make these butter gravies, try not to use water at all. So what I do is that instead of using water, because there are times when you have to add some moisture, I prefer to use milk and adjust the flame, in between, because just to avoid things getting burnt. 50 ml or so of milk in it. Okay, normally whenever you are cooking tomatoes, it is always good that when you add tomatoes, whatever form it may be in, it may be pureed, it may be the whole tomatoes, it may be the chopped tomatoes. Whenever you're using tomatoes, try to add salt as early as possible, because salt helps in cooking of tomato, because salt helps in demoisturizing it. We'll be using salt as per taste, so I'm not adding too much. I'm just adding so that the tomatoes, it helps tomatoes cook. Then I'll also be adding now this the traditional Indian garam masala, a good spoonful, about maybe and a half of garam masala. I use Kashmiri chili, any paprika which gives more of a color and is little sweet, is not very hot. You can use it, because I use Kashmiri chili because largely for its color and its inherent sweetness, because butter chicken is all about the color and we don't need the heat in it. And for the color, I have to put good amount of full of chili in it. Now you'll see the magic happening. The entire color of the gravy will change. It will become dark red with a tinge of brown color coming from the garam masala. Now understand the difficult part. It's perhaps the simplest of things to make as far as the Indian cuisines are concerned. But the real difficult part is to handle it, because it has got cashews, and cashews have got tendency to stick to the bottom of the pan. So you need to have adequate amount of moisture in it, and that's the reason that I took this milk, and to salvage whatever tomato puree was left in this bowl. So I am able to salvage that also with it. Tomatoes are very expensive in India nowadays. Now you can see, look, I'll just bring it closer to the camera. You can see this oil coming on top. Okay, this oil coming on top means that our gravy is getting cooked, nearly cooked. I can handle this, yeah. not even 50 ml of milk in it. Look guys, I am an advocate by profession, and it's the first culinary video which I am trying to make. I don't know whether I will succeed or not, whether it will be worth watching or not, but I'll try to make more of such videos, and next time onwards, whenever, because I'll get more conversant with these devices, we'll discuss certain law points. So this is done. Trust me, the gravy is 90% done, and it has not been taken more than 10 minutes. Now what we'll do is that we'll just cover it with lid for a while. It's simmering. We'll leave it for about 5 minutes. Now I'll tell you the twists which you can bring on it. Now if in case you are making butter chicken, so when you heat the oil, just put the chicken in it, let the color of the chicken change, then take the chicken out, and then do whatever I have done. And once it is nearly done, the step which will not go at, and then you can add the chicken in it, and then let it simmer, then cover it and let it simmer for a while. When I say for a while, you can say about 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 7, not even 10 minutes, because chicken cooks very easily. You will have a butter chicken. And now we are making paneer butter masala, so we'll be using diced paneer, and paneer hardly takes any time to cook. So while I was talking, I guess it's already done. One ingredient which I forgot to introduce is the fenugreek leaves, which in India we call as kasuri methi, and a lot of people pronounce it as kasturi methi. No, it's not kasturi methi, it's kasuri methi, because traditionally it comes from a city or province in Pakistan called Kasur. So you can see the oil is floating on top. It means it's done. I'll do something which I don't like, that is tasting it. It's perfect. A little bit of heat is there, but that'll get balanced out with when I put cream in it. Salt is perfect. The garam masala is perfect. As I said, the heat is a little on the higher side, but that's okay. That will balance with the fresh cream. Now one thing I guess is required is, this gravy desperately requires a little bit of moisture. So we'll add another 50 ml of milk. Here goes the milk. Now guys, two things you can do. Okay. One is that you can just add whether chicken tikka or cottage cheese, whatever you want to add, you can add it now like this. Or what you can do is that you can sieve it. When it's cooked, you can sieve it so that all the whole spices come out. But I guess we can always pull it out. So we'll pull it at a later stage. So in case you are vegan, then perhaps you can also use tofu instead of this paneer, and you don't have to use cream. You can just increase the amount of cashew nut paste in it, and I don't know what dairy whitener you can use, non-dairy whitener you can use. Non-dairy cream, I don't know whether it will taste the same, but of course you can use it. But yes, it's a good point. Someday I'll definitely try to make a vegan paneer butter masala. Paneer butter masala without paneer. Yeah. So guys, it is almost done. The color is okay. In fact, I can use a little more of red chili. It's already a little hot, but it's okay. It will give me color. Balancing which we will do it through this cream. Now what you are seeing that's sticking, it was the cashew nut paste which I've stuck to the pan, but yes, it has all come out. There's no problem with it. Now take this much of a large good amount of pinch of fenugreek leaves, crush a bit. My hands are clean, don't worry. It goes into it, give it a stir. Guys, it's done. Trust me, it's done. But we'll still cover it for a while. For about 4-5 minutes, we'll keep it. By that time, I'll keep everything back. Okay, so while this dish is getting finally cooked, an advocate, an attorney in me is not able to keep himself silent. So here's a tip to ensure that you don't have to hire attorneys to solve your marital disputes. The tip is start following my channel, start watching my playlist, start copying my recipes. Trust me, you will never have a marital discord. My marriage, it's about 24 years old. I'm 24 years young, whatever you can say. Happily married. And the reason is not me, the reason is my cooking skills. Trust me, it helps. So if in case you are not, your marriage is on or your relationship is in rough weather, start learning cooking. Your girl will never leave you. Trust me. Coming directly from me, an experienced person. Yes, it is done. The how I can say it is done is because when this oil floats on top, then it is done. Beautiful. And I never take out these whole spices out of it, because normally what I do is that I prefer to cook. Say if in case I have to eat in the evening, late in the evening, then I'll cook during the day, and I'll let these spices be in this gravy, because if in case the spices are in the gravy for long, they will slowly ooze their fragrance, their oils, their flavor. And one more myth I would like to break is that never ever add sugar in it. So you'll find a lot of recipes in which they'll put sugar. No, strictly no. Okay, we are not here to eat a sweet dish. No honey, no jaggery. The sweetness has to come from the tomatoes in it. It has to come from the dairy products which we have used in it. And at times to add little more sweetness and make it little thick gravy, and of course to cut down on onions, to cut down tomatoes, we do add sometimes we do add onions. So for example, if in case I had to add onion in this dish, I would have probably added for every 4 tomatoes I would have added 1 onion and pureed it. So guys, this is done. I have switched off the gas. The lid is there. One thing which we'll do is that we'll give shaka to this cream, and one spoon. I guess about 75 ml of, it's a 200 ml can, Tetra Pak, so probably I would have added 75 ml of it. It may be a little on the higher side, but that's okay. And never cook the cream on the gas, because then it will break and will release its oil, which will spoil the texture, it will spoil the taste. It may not spoil the taste, but it will definitely spoil the texture. And the creaminess which you expect from butter chicken, it will lose that. So guys, it is almost done. The color is nice. It is, very, I don't know whether if camera is able to catch the right color. It's a very glossy, dark, light orange or dark yellow. No food color has been used in it. And trust me, it's going to be very tasty to eat. So you can make, this is a basic butter gravy. So you can make paneer butter masala, you can make chicken tikka masala, and you can also make butter chicken out of the same gravy, the same style. But definitely when I turn non-vegetarian again, if at all, then I'll definitely make a butter chicken also with this in the same style. And I'll also show you how to make no butter chicken, that is that is made with the pumpkins, no tomatoes, nothing, no milk. So it's done. So we'll cover it. and we'll eat after a while. Till then, enjoy.